Let's not play pretend. There are words, phrases, and outbursts that have left the lips of South Africans that are so spicy, so controversial, that they didn't just ruffle local feathers, they echoed all the way to the White House. Yes, that White House, the Trump White House. Say what you will about the man, but when he tweets about your country, it means somebody said something that hit nerves, shook tables, or sounded like the trailer to a political horror movie. And today, we're talking about those exact words. We're talking about the tweets, the speeches, the protest chants, and parliament tantrums that turned heads globally. But more importantly, we're going to unpack why they happened, what they mean for you and me, and why South Africa's youth need to wake up before they become nothing more than background noise in a country that's burning slowly while dancing to amapiano. So sit back or stand if you're mad already. This is going to be blunt, offensive, uncomfortable, but true, as I am always. Most people don't know this, but the USA and South Africa tension didn't start last night. It actually started about 7 years ago, in 2018. And yes, you guessed it. How funny is it that the viral beef started sometime after Cyril Pinocchio Ramaphosa became president? Donald Trump that year took to Twitter and said, quote, I quote, I have asked Secretary of State Secretary Pompeo to closely study the South Africa land and farm seizures and expropriations and the large scale of killing the farmers. If I'm correct, I close quote. And boom! The international media went insane. CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, all of them. Even local news scrambled to either validate it, debunk it, or even weaponize it. But let's talk about what sparked that exactly, because I'm sure most of you are wondering what could have. It wasn't the land reform policy, it was the words that South African leaders were throwing around like verbal grenades and hot chakalaka. Remember the people who were supposed to be the leaders of political democratic parties who were saying things like, we are not calling for the slaughter of white people, at least for now. That, what I said just now, is just an example of the harsh words politicians like Julius Malema would say on a daily basis. I'm actually being too kind with that example I just mentioned because let's be honest, he said way worse, to be honest. I mean, excuse me, that one sentence was more dangerous than an entire budget speech. Why? Because in international politics, words matter. And South Africans are notoriously casual with theirs. We joke about everything, from genocide, corruption, and burning things down with the same energy we use to ask for quota at the local spaza. Malema's rhetoric, as provocative as it is, feeds into a global narrative about instability, race tension, and whether South Africa can govern itself without eating its own children. So when Trump saw that, when conservative American think tanks saw that, when Fox News saw that, they grabbed it with both hands and ran. Not because they cared about South Africans, but because it made them look like saviors in comparison. Let that sink in. You see, dangerous words from South Africa that got Trump's attention aren't all you think. It's actually a deeper rabbit hole I need to explain to the average law-abiding citizen, especially the average South African who might be caught up in the turmoil, because you might be caught up in the entire thing of like, maybe they're taking land from the whites right now. I don't know what's going on. There's higher racial tension. I want to tell you about everything, especially the biggest piece of the pie, Malema, the EFF, and the kill the poor, the farmer song. We need to address the red beret wearing elephant in the room. Julius Malema, the commander-in-chief of the EFF, the man who could shout revolution in a McDonald's and start a protest over the price of fries. Let's be honest, if there was ever a headline that screamed dangerous words from South Africa, Malema's quotes would be on every bullet point, tattooed across Twitter timelines, and echoing through the halls of international politics as we know it. And let's not even get started on that song. Kill the poor, the farmer, one of the catchiest songs of 2025. The song that makes international news outlets fumble for their dictionaries and diplomats start writing letters. I'm telling you, if that song doesn't win a Grammy this year, the EFF is gonna riot. The song that was first made in apartheid struggle somehow found its way into the 21st century rallies, full volume with a grinning Julius waving his finger and shaking the stadiums as we know it. Now here's the thing. In the historical context, The song is layered. It's part of a revolutionary history, a cry against an oppressive regime, right? But in today's post-apartheid democratic South Africa, it's the political equivalent of playing with matches in a fireworks factory, especially when sung by a guy with tens of thousands of followers, all chanting in harmony like they're at a Beyonce concert, but the lyrics are about killing a race of people. That is not activism, if you ask me. That is political arson. And don't get it twisted. I'm not here to whitewash history or pretend the past didn't happen. I'm not here to protect the whites or anything or whatever you may think. But when a political leader sings "Kill the Boer" on stage and then goes on international interviews claiming it's just a struggle song, what message are you sending, bruv? That hate is a tradition? That racially charged lyrics are part of cultural identity? Imagine Donald Trump singing a song titled "End the Immigrants," or Vladimir Putin dropping a verse like "Erase Ukraine." Imagine him making a catchy song on that. It wouldn't fly. The world was going to lose its mind. Sanctions would rain down like confetti at a New Year's party. But when Julius does it, there's a weird silence. It's not the same, guys. Some people even clap. Others pretend it didn't happen. You want to know what's funnier? Some white people actually sing it with him. And Trump, being one of the people who actually look at what's wrong, is going, what the hell is going on in South Africa? That's why he noticed. You can't sing about killing a specific race or group of people and expect the world to sip their tea and mind their business. Words have power, especially when they are broadcast through a microphone and blasted through TikTok, Twitter, and international news. The EFF doesn't just flirt with chaos, it kisses it full on the mouth and invites it to dinner. Malema is not stupid. He is a master of performance politics. He knows how to go viral. He knows how to poke the bear. You want to learn how to go viral? Learn from Julius Malema. Take notes from that dude. I take notes from that dude. He has carved out a space in the South African psyche that thrives off division, provocation, and controversy. That man is a master of his work. But here's the problem. He's not the one pulling the strings. This isn't just about the "Kill the Boer" song. It's about what it represents. It's a failure to truly move forward. A political culture that still feeds on racial trauma for relevance. It's easier to chant hate than to build hospitals. It's easier to call for violence than to draft economic policy. And that's why we stay stuck as a people. So yes, Donald Trump is right. He might have been outrageous, he might have been loud, and he might have had questionable hair. But he wasn't wrong to ask, is there a white genocide in South Africa? Maybe the answer is no, right? But the fact that that question was even asked says everything. It speaks volumes because leaders are singing about it and the world is listening. And also, remember, South Africa has a rich history of protesting. Hey, you want to know protesting? Come to South Africa. We are not new to this. Mzansi. These are things that united us. And now they've been recycled into dangerous rallying cries. One settler, one bullet. What? Kill the Boer, kill the farmer. Turned into a catchy song. What? Now before you defend this as some historic or metaphorical thing, let me remind you, the internet doesn't do nuance. You post that chant on Twitter or X or Facebook, it's not about apartheid anymore. It's about how violent we look in 2025. These are words that terrify investors, scare tourists, and get the attention of controversial leaders like Trump. They don't see history, they see headlines. We are giving our enemies ammo with our mouths. And our youth, they are cheering it on for clout. Because that's all they can do. They don't have jobs. Our own people think it's trendy to go viral with hate speech wrapped in dance moves, twerking, and background beats. We are memeing our own destruction. I mean, have you seen a South African parliamentary debate? It's like watching a high school talent show run by toddlers on Red Bull. Name calling, threats, insults, and zilch solutions. Zero. Things like, you bloody agent, sit down, you clown. Speaker, point of order. Honorable, my money, please sit down. It is one of the funniest things you can watch. You want to get entertained? Watch Parliament. It's entertaining, yes. But what message does it send? That politics in South Africa is a theater. That shouting louder is more important than actually making sense. And if you're wondering why the youth doesn't take politics seriously, let alone vote, here's why. It's because our leaders act like YouTubers beefing over merch sales. This chaos gets clipped, subtitled, and shipped globally. And what do other countries see? They don't see leadership. They don't see seriousness. They see a circus. They see clowns. And when Trump or any world leader sees that, guess what? They laugh. They laugh. Because it confirms every stereotype they already believe. The digital age has no borders. When a politician, an influencer, or even a high schooler in South Africa says something controversial, it doesn't stay here. It goes global, more than you think. And Trump, that guy feeds off controversy like hyenas on a zebra. He knows how to move people. He knows when he's right. He knows how to win debates. Did you see the one where he was with J.D. Vance and Vladimir Zelensky? Watch that one and then you'll see how right I am. And that's what the rest of the world uses to discredit us, to cancel us, to write us off. Because we are handing them our weaknesses with our mouths. And in doing so, we also ruin our chances of attracting investors, tourists, and even hope. And here's where you come in. Yes, you, the person I'm looking at who's watching this. You, the young person in a township with Wi-Fi and fire in your heart. You, varsity dropout or content creator or aspiring rapper. You're the voice of this country right now. And what you say matters more than ever. But if you just sit there and keep memeing everything else, we're gonna fall faster than Sonic the Hedgehog running downhill. Because those actions shape our future. If you promote chaos, if all you promote is chaos, you're going to benefit a broken world. If all you repost is hate, then don't be shocked when the world hates you. Speak better, think harder, challenge things, but do it smart. This ain't 1976 anymore, homie. It's not just about throwing bricks. It's about throwing truths. Trump didn't tweet about us because we are strong. He tweeted because we look like a mess. And it's time to change that. South Africa is a power keg. Our words are the matches. And while we scream for change, burn things down, and chant our frustrations, remember this. The world is watching. They are watching our every move, even the moves we think they can't. They are screen recording, they are subtitling, they are screenshotting, they are using us as proof that freedom breeds chaos. Freedom breeds chaos. Don't hand your enemy your voice. Use it to lead, to grow, to rise. Because if you don't take control of the narrative, someone else will do it for you and impose sanctions like what Trump has been doing, and then you're going to call him the devil. You're going to become the punchline to someone else's agenda. Speak power, speak peace, speak purpose, or else you're going to end up like Lesotho, a country no one has even heard of. Or say nothing, because dangerous words, they travel fast. And guess what? They don't come with a return ticket.